Welcome to the 5th installment of the myBO 101 training series. In this episode, we'll talk about creating your event. So one of the most important first steps in creating the event, besides the actual planning of what it's going to, where it's going to be and what its focus is going to be, is actually advertising the event. And My Barack Obama is perhaps one of the easiest and best places to advertise your event. And you should advertise all of your events on myBarackObama.com. So the first step really is to go ahead and log in to your myBO account by scrolling down on the home page and clicking on Log into myBO on the Make a Difference side pane. You're now logged in and you can see your dashboard. So when you're creating an event, what you want to do is on the My Barack Obama side pane here on the right, go ahead and expand that by clicking this plus sign and click on the Create an Event phrase. We're going to let that come up. And here we go. Create your event, step 1 and 2. This is a really easy way. It walks you through it step by step, but we'll go ahead and do this together. So it's going to take place in the United States. It's also going to take place in Frisco. And let's say that it is going to be a voter registration drive. We're going to click continue to step 2. If by chance it wasn't a voter registration drive, you could come down here to the bottom and see what type of event it was in order to select the type of event that is most appropriate for your event. Let's go ahead and continue to step 2. I'm going to let that load. Here we go. Step 2 of 2. So what we need to do is go ahead and fill in this form. So I'm just going to create a test event. It's not a real event, but a dummy event. So dummy test event for training purposes. This is a test as the description, but basically in the description you probably want to talk about if there are going to be any shift for your event, what those shifts look like. Perhaps there are two-hour shifts or anything like that. If you want to receive an email when users sign up, I always do, you probably do. As far as the RSVP email message, you can do this one of two ways. You can either create your own RSVP email message, or you can go with the default one. I encourage you to think about creating your own, especially if you want to give your phone number as the contact to those who have signed up to your event, but you don't want to post it for everyone to see on the website. So here I could say no. And I'm going to type in the test RSVP email message, and I'm going to say your contact is Jen, and she can be reached at XXX. Okay? So we type that in here. There are also these variables that you can use if you'd like to. For instance, if you want to give what the details are for the event URL, maybe I want to add that in actually. So what I'm going to do is, for details on the event, visit and as you can see, I just really copied what this is, event URL right here. I just copied that, put that in there, and surrounded it by 2% signs, just as they showed in the example. So to send an email reminder to attendees, I would keep that yes. I usually do keep it a day before. I think that's good. So let's say that our event, now we have to pick the date. So let's say it's happening a week from today. That sounds good. At 12, and it's happening for an hour. You can also do multiple shifts. If you do that, you click here, and you can do your first shift. Maybe it's from 12 to 1, and then you have another shift from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., let's say. So that's great. So that pulls this up to a 2-hour total. The location name is going to be test location, because this is just for an example. Capacity limit. So you leave it at 0 if there's really no limit, or you can put a limit here. It really doesn't matter. If I remember correctly, I used this before, and it still allowed as many people as possible to sign up for the event, so I would just leave it as 0. Here's where you'd actually put the address, because it's going to pull that up on a map. there'll be links there, so you want to have that address, and perhaps you'll put some directions here. So, take Main Street, turn left, that kind of thing. As far as the host mailing address, I wouldn't put that in there. I also do not put the my contact phone. I don't put that either. And now what you do is you are going to associate this with one of your groups. So I'm going to go ahead and associate this with Obama-Collin County. It's just a test event for training. So we'll go ahead and put that there. You can associate this to as many groups as possible. In fact, the more groups that you associate your event to, the more places and searchable areas that it's going to show up in. So it's actually advantageous to try and select this and associate it to as many groups as possible. So let's go ahead now and click on the Create Event button. And here we go. Now you can see it says your event has been created, and we have a dummy test event for training. And I can actually go ahead and invite people straight from here if I would like to, so that they know where to view my event and also where they can sign up for it. And that's all optional. So if you decide to do that, you just would fill out these, entering one address per line and up to 15 addresses. And you could definitely add a personal message here if you would like to. So that concludes the 5th training session on how to create an event using myBO. It's a great way. Again, advertising is perhaps the most powerful thing that you can do with the myBO tool. So definitely encourage you to advertise your event with as many groups as possible, and then blog about your upcoming event and invite as many friends as you can that you've made through myBO to actually help volunteer at your event. Good luck with your event. I hope you found this useful, and please join us for our future training sessions. Thank you.